Morning, everyone. Very, very sleepy today. I'm feeling very tired today. But I think that has also inspired me to come on and jump on and do a quick one today about the importance of honouring rest. Many people, many neurodivergent people, and I think it's really important when we're thinking about stuff that we're holding in mind, the importance of stimming. So some of us will need to move. We'll need to move around, and you'll see me wriggling around a little bit, and there is actually a drive to move, to self-regulate, and that's a really important piece of the puzzle to hold in mind. But it can make resting feel a challenge sometimes. So again, if you combine the need to stim and then the compulsive nature of movement within eating disorders, again, that resting can almost feel threatening somehow, right? But I did want to just briefly talk about the sort of the monumental power of honouring rest, and to think a little bit about some ideas of how to implement if you find that more challenging. So, an example I often give in therapy is, even if you're an athlete or if you're training for a marathon, rest days are scheduled into part of the experience, part of the training experience. And I think rest can just feel really challenging, I think. And sometimes there can be kind of a guilt attached. Like, so this weekend, I had sort of vague plans to go out dancing. Sort of realised I was too tired for that. Then had a sort of my current hyperfixation. I haven't been for a couple of weeks, but I found this really cool movement class called Sanctum. It kind of gives me the energy of the rave, like it's really like high frequency, peak vibes. But without having to stay out really late, without drinking, all that stuff. But I woke up this morning and I looked at my alarm and I was like, I just can't. I just can't. And then there was a bit of that guilt piece came in. I was like, I should go. You haven't really done anything in a while. I missed the rave, Then I was just like, no, it's an equally valid experience to potter around, to make cups of tea, to eat yummy food, to just put on Netflix, watch trash, watch Glass, or whatever it is you want to do. And I think there's something about that permission giving to the self of remembering and tuning into a deeper knowing that we are all capable of resting, and we are all worthy of resting. It's a really important factor of life, actually. And yeah, I haven't actually drunk my tea yet, so I'm feeling like, you've probably sounded like a bit slower, and I'm just feeling really tired today. Yeah, that was it. One quick tip about sort of how to do it if you find it challenging. So I think, again, coming back to that all or nothing thinking, I think we can sometimes imagine that resting is like, I'm either manically running around or I'm laying down doing nothing, not moving my body. But actually rest can be like chilling, do you know what I mean? Rest can be a slightly slower, because if you're going from being really manic, compulsively busy, the idea of suddenly just doing nothing, or bed rest vibes, it might be too much. But you know what, though, if you don't, burnout is the bed rest sometimes. I sometimes have it when I just can't move, and that's obviously a big indicator that I've taken things too far, and I haven't been resting enough. But yeah, so I think, but I guess first point, and then I come back to time blocking. I must make notes for bullet points for future at some point. But number one, slowing down is a version of rest. So that can be actually just, rather than me manically running around, downing my tea, like I'm not even there, present for the experience. Like right now, I'm just with my tea and I'm just noticing the warmth, so coming back to that mindful presence. And I can just even drink the tea a bit more slowly. Or I can just take a deep breath. And maybe another. And even that like sound coming out is like, I know for myself that sound is like me just really starting to settle. And I think for some of us, again, coming back to the power of the micro step, if you find resting hard, committing to laying down, all day. Resting doesn't need to be laying down a day. Resting can be, rather than me manically washing up, I'm just gonna like slow down and be with the sensations on my hands as I wash up. Or resting can be, deciding not to go to the exercise class, but maybe you do 10 minutes of gentle stretching instead. So like, I think, again, sometimes we avoid doing these things because they feel too far away from where we are in our current experience. So again, it's the micro step. Or if you're compulsively exercising as part of your eating disorder, could you swap out 10 minutes of the compulsive exercise for 10 minutes of slightly gentler movement? So maybe stretching or something, right? And the other thing I was going to say, it was just an idea. I'm with my ADHD coach at the moment. I'm currently working with this idea of time blocking. So basically, if it's not in my diary, to-do list helpful to some extent, but like they just become this like never-ending to-do list. But with time blocking, I actually put it in my diary. So for example, at the moment, I can struggle quite a lot with completing admin. So in my kind of work calendar, I'll have whatever I've done, and I'll literally put in a separate color code. It will come back to color coding another day, but I'll put a separate time blocked color coded thing that says like admin. And the fact that it's in my diary, and it happened recently where I've been needing to get a new laptop for about 2 years now. But because it wasn't in my diary in an allocated time slot, it just didn't happen. But then my coach was like, put it in a time slot. And I did it literally. It's wild sometimes how quickly some of these strategies can help us. But yeah, so another idea there is actually like if you're someone that almost benefits from like that structure of having something in the diary, then it could be I'm going to have a half an hour sit down on the sofa rather than running around, rather than always being busy. And I'm actually going to maybe time block in rest. Anyway, I am sleepy today, so in the nature of honouring my own needs, I'll say goodbye for now. But yeah, this is just your daily reminder, and you can watch this video as literal as often as you want, that rest is fundamental, actually, to the human experience. And it's, you're deeply worthy of honouring rest, and honouring rest in your own way, whatever that looks like for you. So let's end on a deep breath in together. Deep breath out. See you guys soon.